In the previous lecture, I showed you how small, medium-sized companies need to focus on in-market buyers, and that's based on the graphic that I showed you from the Business to Business Institute think tank. So the question is, how do we focus on those in-market buyers? And even if we are working on a specific campaign targeting those in-market buyers in a large company, we need to have some sort of way of isolating those people from the wider out-of-market groups. So the simplest answer to that is to buy intent data. So you can go to a company like Bombara and you can say, okay, we want companies, prospects who are actively looking for the type of solution that we offer, the category that we offer. Now, that's easier to do when you're in an established category. Much, much more difficult to target in-market buyers when you have a completely new product because nobody's really in market for that. So you have to pick something that's similar to it. So Bombara, you could get a list of prospects who are interested. You go to pure B2B. This is just a few examples. You can use some of these account-based marketing suppliers like 6 Sense. Zoom Info will give you some intent data for prospects that you can target as well. And what you'll do is you'll go into LinkedIn Campaign Manager. You will go to matched audience. You'll create an audience, and then you'll upload that list. Okay. So the list will be the in-market buyers using intent data that's been gathered from a third party like Bombara, imported into LinkedIn, and then you're going to show ads to them. So what these third-party suppliers are doing is they're looking at data in the internet that would suggest that people are kind of looking at blog posts, looking at information that suggests they're in market, they're in kind of a buying mindset. Now, there are problems with focusing on only in-market buyers. And this is a trap that a lot of business-to-business marketers fall into because they're obsessed with getting results immediately, this quarter, this month, etc., because that's generally how sales quotas work, and business-to-business companies tend to be sales-led rather than marketing-led. So this brings me to my second method for targeting people that are in market is you basically see who is engaging or showing interest in content that suggests they're in market, that they're in the buying mindset, or that they're further down in that kind of awareness and purchasing decision. But before I talk about how to do that, I just want to give you a little warning, and we're going to point to The Point, which is from Spear Marketing, excellent resource for business-to-business demand generation. And they're warning you that there are risks of over-reliance on late-stage content. So late-stage content is the kind of thing that pushes people into a sales conversation or pushes them into a demo. And it's things like buyer's guides, demo requests, kind of product demo videos, like this kind of content that's very bottom of funnel. We're going to capture the people that are hot leads. And kind of the main problem with this is that's where everybody wants. And that drives up the price. It becomes very, very expensive to capture those people that are in the buying mindset. Now, the other problem you run into is that if they're already in the buying mindset, they may already kind of have their mind half made up to go with a competitor. So the competitor is the default solution. So if you're only marketing to them after they're in their buying mindset, they may have already spoken to a competitor. They may already be aware of competing brands, other solutions. So you're not reaching them in kind of that more receptive state where perhaps they're more willing to allow you to kind of lay the groundwork for the conversation. So, for example, HubSpot has sort of created this buzzword of inbound marketing. So, because they're able to control the conversation around inbound marketing in the early stages, then everybody's going to trust them in the later stages. And the credibility is already there, the familiarity is already there, and they basically own the conversation. But if you're only coming into the conversation in that buying stage, you're going to pay a premium for that. You're going to have to overpay for those leads, and other business-to-business marketers are also going to be bidding up the prices for those. And this comes in various forms. So, for example, bidding on Google which is very different from bidding on LinkedIn. You're bidding for high intent keywords, things like buy manufacturing tool, buy lighting system, software to solve X, CRM software. Like the cost per click is going to be very high because these are high intent keywords. It's much cheaper and much more advanced when you think in terms of not just late stage content, but also kind of mid stage and in some cases also early stage content. And then by nurturing leads and having a more comprehensive campaign, ultimately your customer acquisition costs will go down. So this is a nice little warning here from the thought leadership Howard Seawall at Spear Marketing Group. Now, that said, there are definitely cases where you just want to focus on those in-market buyers, and we are talking more about late-stage content. So how do we target these people? Well, again, it's the same way that we did with the intent data. You're going to go to account assets, you're going to go to matched audiences, you're going to create an audience, only instead of uploading a list, which we did when we had intent data or we had a purchase list, we're going to do retargeting. And this is the easiest way, in my opinion, of targeting people in a kind of full funnel mindset. So what can we retarget people by? Well, an event would be something like having a LinkedIn live webinar or a Zoom webinar or something. You can target people based on lead gen forms. So did they request a white paper on X, Y, or Z? The problem with this, and I'm not saying it's completely bad to do this, but your default decision should be do not gate content if you don't have to. If you have to gate content, it's okay. You can retarget people who fill out those forms, but the problem is you're going to have a vast limitation on the number of people that actually fill out the form. But again, there are some arguments for gating content that are valid. One of them would be that you don't have a list, you don't have the mailing information for people, and maybe the next step in your sequence after the LinkedIn ad is we're going to send them an invite, direct mail into a demo, and we're going to give them some chocolates or something. We're also going to offer them a $100 Amazon gift card, and the only way to get their mailing address information would be to gate the content. Okay, there's a good argument. Or another good argument would be we're going to gate it to have the SDR follow up. And the only way that we can realistically get a phone number is by gating the content. Now, people are going to give you fake phone numbers and stuff too, so you need to factor that in. Okay, so these are just some ideas of how to get those in-market buyers, right? Create an event around something that an in-market buyer would be interested in, create some sort of gated content that they would be interested in, which, again, that's not the best choice. Visiting your company page on LinkedIn, I don't think this is the best solution because it's too general. Anybody that visits your company page isn't necessarily somebody that is best for this particular campaign that you're running. Video, I think, is the best option. If you run a video that contains content that would be interested in somebody with a buying mindset would be interested in, then that's the kind of person you want to retarget to get them into something like a sales conversation. So the way that video ad retargeting works is you're basically targeting people based on the percentage of the video that they watched. And I'm going to go into great detail about video because I think it's the easiest, most frictionless way of retargeting people. Why is it frictionless? Because there's no gating. They play the video on LinkedIn. They don't have to click through to anywhere. And again, when there's a click through on a social media on your phone, it is incredibly annoying because it is incredibly slow to load anything that is external to the platform. So leaving LinkedIn to go anywhere is going to take forever. And they're probably going to abandon even though they paid for the click. The second option that I think is best is visiting your website and going to a specific page. So for example, a blog post that is giving people advice on buying something. So the way that you target in-market buyers is by creating retargeting audiences based on content consumption behavior that suggests that they're in a buying mindset. Now, what kind of content do you create? Well, again, I'm going to turn back to Spear Marketing, which is a great thought leader in this space. And these are general guidelines. These aren't always true, but generally at the top of funnel, you're talking about things like infographics, thought leadership white papers, survey reports. Okay. If you're at a small or medium-sized company, I generally recommend staying away from top of funnel content because you need results quickly. Your company may not be around tomorrow. You don't even know if you're going to have funding. You need to be more focused on what's going to generate short-term, mid-term results. Middle of funnel content is going to be good. So case studies, return on investment calculators, webinars. Depending on the topic of the webinar, it's going to be more or less suggestive of being in market or not. And same thing with the case studies. Here they're distinguishing between a testimonial video and a case study. So a testimonial video is a little more bottom of funnel. Your case study may kind of be a merger of those two things. So bottom of funnel content would be analyst reports and buyer's guides, testimonial videos, and technical briefs. So this is the type of content that you can promote on LinkedIn. And then based on people that engage with it, you can retarget them with second ads that are designed to get them in deeper into the funnel. So a simplistic way of doing this would be something like, let's run a testimonial video about our product. We'll do it as a video views campaign in LinkedIn. We'll optimize it for video views, not for clicks, not for signups or anything. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an audience who viewed at least 50% of the video in the year. And we're going to have a separate campaign targeting the people that watch 50% of the video. And that campaign is going to be more focused on actually driving people into a demo request. Here's the benefits of the demo. Here's what you're going to walk away with. Talk to Sally, who's going to help you, set things up, or sign up for this free trial, or sign up for the freemium version, which gives you all these different features and that sort of thing. So instead of starting with request a demo, talk to sales, we're starting with the testimonial video. And that says, hey, these people are probably in market, or a buyer's guide video. It could just be like a slideshow video you make in Canva or something. Because they engaged in that, they're signaling to us that they have some interest. And then because of that interest, we can push them into a secondary campaign that is designed to solicit response. So we have a non-direct response awareness campaign to promote this. And then we have a direct response campaign to get them to sign up, something like that. Now, more sophisticated funnel would be something like starting with a thought leadership blog post that you push people to actually click through to your website. You retarget those people with a case study video. And based on the people that consume that, you push them into a testimonial video. And then based on the people that consume the testimonial video, then you push them into what you ultimately want, which is a conversation with sales. So these are the kind of funnels and targeting methods you can use to isolate that subsegment of people that may be in market for a solution that you offer.